Well, hello, Magoo. How's my little buddy? You out here waiting on Papa? No, you know it's not food time yet. We had breakfast, then we had brunch. Okay? You know, it's Sunday. Papa always treats you. And there's my little lady, Cleo. Cleo, you become a star. So now, I see Magoo's here with you. I guess Spooky, he got wore out. Let's check your stitch. Oh, they're looking nice. Still looking good. Okay, yeah. You're doing great, aren't you, baby? Everybody out there on YouTube's worried about you. And we're going to talk a little bit about you today. Okay? Now we got Magoo here with you. Your brother. Now your first baby, Spooky, who's been right there. He took care of the kitties while you were at the vet's, then by your side all the way up till early this afternoon. Even when I'd come out here in the evenings and early mornings, he'd still be awake right here. A lot of times, the kitties would be sleeping right with him. Yeah. You my baby. Papa takes care of you. There ain't no doubt. Right, Magoo? You know, we ain't gonna talk no more about what's gonna come your way next week, because we mentioned it, and you've been hard to find last day or two. Yep. Needless to say, I think you're gonna have a spa day. You know, get your nails trimmed, colored, wash, rinse. You know, relaxing day, Magoo. Cleo, don't tell them what's really going on, okay? And, y'all, it's Sunday, September 27th, 2020. And normally we do a walkabout and a talk about, but today we're going to do more of a talk about on the front porch, which is where we normally end up. We got old Spook over here. Spooky. He's been trying to relax over here by the old mama oak. Yep. I think he's tuckered out. You know, he's been a good little guardian of the kitties while Cleo was at the vet. And ever since Cleo got home, he's been right there at her side. He sure has. Now, what most of you may not know, especially if you're new to the channel, Spooky here is actually the only surviving member of Cleo's first litter. Yep. She started with 4. I'm not sure what all happened. I suspect coyotes. But when she brought her kittens over here, there were only 2 left. There was Spooky and his sibling. And then, not sure how that happened, but his brother or sister, I didn't check. They were still small then. Somehow got out in the road and got run over. I've been out and about, driving no Focus, charged up the battery, come home, found her, or him, laid out on the pavement right here in front of the home place. Sure did. So, poor old Spook, he lost all of his sisters and brothers, which was rather traumatic. It took a long time for Spooky, as many of y'all know, to warm up to Ole Mr.Tom. But as you can see, he's fine now. In fact, he's quite a talker. He's just tuckered out. He's been a good uncle to the Kitten Krew. And you've seen him. Sure has. Magoo, not so much. But since Spooky's been resting and taking naps, he's been sort of filling in. Haven't you, Magoo? Of course, now we got the camera out. You know who would have to be on it. Always the camera hog, Magoo. Oh, Spooky. Thank you. You've been a good uncle. So, y'all, it's a little bit overcast. Actually, it's rain today. Been another cool day here in deep south of Alabama. I think we're currently at 79 degrees and overcast. Had a nice shower. Now, I'm tuckered a little bit too. Because I won't lie to you, I've been keeping a close eye on Cleo. And that's going to be part of the subject we're going to be talking about today on the front porch. So let's get a seat. Y'all grab a place, pull up a lawn chair. Like always, we got snacks, sweet tea in the fridge. So come on. Cleo, you just relaxing, ain't you? You all tuckered out, ain't you, baby? You get you some rest. Okay? Papa loves you. And I know you love Papa now. Thank God for that. Of course, you got your brother, Magoo, with you. Finally. Okay. Okay, Magoo. I'm going to talk to the peoples, friends and family. Okay? Just hold tight. So, y'all, here we are on the front porch. On a nice, slightly breezy, wonderful fall day in the deep south. Got my little buddy Magoo right underneath me. On the first step, Cleo on the second. Of course, you might be wondering, well, where's the kittens? Magoo wants to be playful. I ain't got time for that right now. Guess he missed me. Because like I said, ever since I mentioned the vet, he's been, oh God, I said it, now he's wandering off again. He's been hard to find, except mealtime. And I gotta find him come Tuesday morning, because that's when he's got spa day. So, you might be wondering why old Mr.Tom ain't gonna do a walkabout today. Well, there's not a whole lot to show you as far as the garden plantings. Not a lot more going on than what I showed you last Sunday. Everything's still growing, coming along. We did harvest some stuff today, some okra, and some nice red hot peppers, Anaheims, Calhorns. We even got some orange lunchbox and some red lunchbox. And I'll show you that towards the end of the video. Get the bag out of the fridge and dump them out on the counter. Show you just what we got. But it ain't a lot, because I'm really not doing a lot with the garden plantings right now. The beans are making seed, which I need. Got some tomatoes coming on, but they're only about yay size. And that's about all we're doing for right now. Now later on, we're going to be putting in some radishes and some lettuces, some carrots. And if I remember, I'll take y'all along with that. But something I want to talk about was Cleo. Now, I really do appreciate all of y'all's views, comments, and suggestions. But there's one I want to address right now. And I know those of you who have suggested it have it with all good intentions and goodness of heart. And that's, she needs to be inside. Well, what you don't know is I tried that. Once she been home a bit, even though I was sitting out here with her almost all the time, and even when I wasn't, I was coming back and checking on her every 10-15 minutes. When the evening started to grow near, I brought her in. I put food and water out for Magoo and Spook, I knew Spook would take care of the kittens. And I brought her in. Now, I didn't close up the front door. I just closed the screen door. Turned the air conditioning off. And you would have thought I was beating Cleo or skinning her alive. She just screeched and cried and paced and just clawed at that screen door. And I could have videoed it, but I didn't feel like it. Plus, camera's charging up. Only got one, and I got my backup, and both were charging. But anyway, I decided, okay, since she can see them or smell them or whatever, I'll close the front door. Well, I tried that. And she was still being quite vocal. To the point when I went out the back door, you could hear her outside. It was rather loud. And of course, Trix wasn't none too happy either. She was going off. Of course, she wouldn't get near Cleo because Cleo done whooped her one time. And Cleo came in weeks ago. Of course, that was Trixie's fault. Cleo wasn't messing with her, and Cleo tried to come on in the kitchen, get her a little bite. And of course, Trixie decided she'd swat at her. You know, Trixie's 18 years old now. Now, she might have once had the mojo, but she ain't got the mojo of Cleo. Cleo ain't even 2 years old yet. So she took the worst part of that, and I wound up having to break them up and put Cleo out. But anyway, Trixie was keeping her distance. She's being real vocal too. Well, I thought, okay, I'll make up a litter box, put it in my bedroom. I'll get out an extra set of feed bowls, which I might add, a viewer, Rick and Lulu, from North Carolina, had sent several down, and set them up in my bedroom. And I'll put Cleo in my bedroom. Couldn't put her in my bathroom. If y'all saw my bathroom is just wide enough for a tub and maybe 1.5 times long as a tub. In fact, you can run your bath water, do your business, brush your teeth and shave while still sitting on the toilet. It's a quite efficient bathroom. And I don't see no problem with it. My wife never cared for it much. She wanted another bathroom. But I mean, you can do everything in it. You just can't have a crowd in there with you visiting. So, I put Cleo in the bedroom. Oh no. She had the whole bed. Nice comfy bed, pillows, litter box, food, water. I even put in TV. Well, you know, turn TV. Nope, she wasn't having that. Crying, screaming, clawing at the door, in fact, clawing the paint off. And I figured, you know, within an hour, 2 hours, 3, that would subside. Well, at 2 or 3 in the morning, Saturday morning, because see, that's another thing you might not understand. Cleo went in to the vet Thursday morning at 7. No, she probably had her surgery or whatever, probably around 10. But I told them to keep her and do everything to her, which she did. She got all of her shots. She got her annual checkup, exam, feline leukemia. She was tested, rabies. She was given flea treatment. I think even dewormed or something like that. And everything. So she spent the night at the vet. Plus, this ain't my first rodeo with kitties. I've had a lot of kitties over the years. And dogs. Used to have dogs. Cows, goats, pigs, sheep, and bunnies. The only one I never had was chickens. But that's a long story. So I've got a long history with animals. But I knew from past experience with dealing with feral cats, because people drop them off over here behind the cemetery near the big woods. Not nice people. Every year. Guess who winds up with Mr.Tom? And there's been years when I've had 39, 42. Yep. Back in the past. Of course, that was before the coyotes came back this far east. That's pretty much went away, because there is a pile of coyotes. As I said earlier, that's what happened to a couple of Spooky's siblings, I'm pretty sure. And that. So anyway, I told the vet she was primarily an outdoor cat, feral, which she is. And so Spooky is. Most of you been on the channel a long, long time know. It took several weeks to get Spooky to warm up where he just wouldn't dart off, first time he saw me. And now you can see me. He's just a big old love bug, just like Magoo is. So, I always tell them about that. And so you're going to ask yourself, what does that mean? Well, they know. They can put in extra stitches, give more antibiotics, which she got. She was administered antibiotics to guard against infection. And when I picked her up Friday, late morning, must have been around 11:30, I asked them what a restriction was, talked about her medication. They sent home pain medication. Now I told them she needed ongoing antibiotic treatment to send it home with me, liquid. They didn't feel that was necessary, even knowing she may well be outside. And she has been. Because she just wasn't having inside. Nope. Now maybe if I would have kept her in there another 4 or 5 hours, maybe she would, but 3 or 4 in the morning, and if you would have heard it, you would understand. She wasn't having it. She's not happy. I let her out. First thing she did was come out here, throw herself down, and it wasn't 10 minutes later the kittens were all curled up around her belly, fast asleep they all were. But even that said, once I did that in the wee morning hours of Saturday, I stayed up. Now I come out here every 15-20 minutes with the cracked door open so the kittens wouldn't run off, checking on them all throughout the remaining Saturday morning. Now I did take a couple hour nap around 7 to 10 Saturday, and then I've kept that up, checking. And I made sure, like many of y'all said, they need wet food. She's been getting plenty of that, just like today. And she got a whole 12-ounce can of chicken and sea tuna, which unlike Trix ain't much on seafood, Cleo just loves. In fact, she saw fit. Now I don't know where Magoo was at the time, but she did allow Spooky to share it with her. And the kittens got some too. But when Magoo showed up, I had to serve brunch. So I brought out a couple of cans of Friskies pate. And I sliced and diced that all up. Spooky ate a little bit, but he's full. He's not a glutton. He went over and threw down. Cleo and Magoo ate a good portion of it, and then once I left, the Kitty Krew snuck out and ate the rest and licked the bowl clean. In fact, here it is right here, courtesy of the Kitten Krew. And speaking about Magoo, you gotta see this. See there right behind me? That's Magoo, fast asleep. Cleo at my feet, fast asleep. So I'm sure the question is, where's the Kitten Krew? They're asleep in the front porch bunker, which is quite nice, by the way. Clean. Now, albeit it's dirt floor. Yep. They don't mind. But they're safe there. It's cool. And they like it. Now, we did have an amazing event today. And it came under the head, and I wish you always had your camera with you. When I was out here serving brunch around 10:30, 10:45, 4 to 5 deer, white-tailed deer, come running across from my neighbor's yard. I guess they come across from the cemetery out of the big wood into my yard. Yeah. And they stopped about at the end of the back of the house. And I thought, wow, that's unusual. I've never seen that happen in all the years I've lived here. You'll see them at night. Of course, here again, been with the channel any length of time, you'll know I raise a garden and feed deer some years. It's been quite a significant problem in the past. And I got to keep everything sort of kind of fenced off to deter them from it. But I've never seen them run into the yard during daylight hours. And I thought, that is strange. So I went around, peeked around the house, and they were all staring from the direction in which they came from. And of course, once they saw me, they bolted, took off again. And I thought, well, that is strange. Wish I had had the camera, but I didn't. Still on the charger. It wasn't 5 minutes later, here come a pack of dogs. Yep. 3 of them. First 3. Looked like some type of retriever and 2 black labs. And they were following those deer. Took off the same direction. Of course, deer continued on throughout the neighborhood. About another 5 minutes later, 2 pit bulls right behind them. So, I'm thinking that's what chased them out of the wood. Now, those pit bulls had collars on. The retriever and the labs didn't. And we do have a leash law here in Taos. And that's impossible to do with cats. Now, I have seen on internet people who do that, but good luck with that. But pretty much the kitties stay on my property or my neighbors, and they all look at them as community cats. Ain't no problem, which is a good thing. And that. So I'm sort of in a quandary what to do about dogs. And that. Of course, I already know if other people see dog packs roaming, I probably ain't gonna have to worry about it. So for now, I'm just gonna keep an eye out. And once I saw that, I've spent a lot of time out here sitting with Cleo. Now Cleo, she wasn't stupid. She got in the bunker. Not sure where Magoo was. I'm sure he was up somewhere high. And Spooky was up a tree on the roof. He's not stupid. So, they were all safe. And that's where I've been most of the day, sitting out here, enjoying the nice weather, listening to my birds, which currently are fairly silent. Got to go in, dig them out some feed, get them fed too. But another thing I'd like to bring up, and that And I know many in the last couple videos said, you know, they'd like to help out, feed or treats or something for the Kitty Krews. And I appreciate that. And there are people that have been doing that from the get-go. Very special people. Especially those who want nothing in return. They don't want to see it themselves put on video. They don't want no acknowledgement. They just feel good to know they're helping. Some, and this has really astounded me beyond belief, have made donations. Now, I just can't believe that. Not that I haven't made donations in the past to some people on the internet, because I'd be lying if I told you I hadn't, because I do. But with me, and what I've always told my children, which have been super critical of me, my wife is super critical of me, my father wasn't, but my mama was. I said, you know, if it feels right in here, right here, you know where your heart is, then I do it. And you know what? I've had a lot of friends, well, they're just going to spend it on alcohol, drugs, what have you. You see, I don't let that all bother me. No. And I've told them that. I used to travel a lot, all over the country and the world. And I'd be in cities, and yeah, some not so clean, not so good looking homeless person walk up. I'm going to have to let a car pass. But anyway, some homeless person would walk up. We'd be out walking around, you know, looking for a place to eat. Back in my younger days, place to drink. I ain't gonna lie. They'd walk up, want a few bucks. Some, I wouldn't do it. Others, I felt the desire in here to do it. Oh, Lord. My co-workers, associates, give me down the road. And I tell them, first of all, it's not your business. Well, you know, you just keep doing that. They're just going to keep coming. Yeah. Okay. And then, you know, occasionally they'd ask me why I did. And I said, because you know what? At that moment, it felt right here. That's what I've tried to teach my children. And I got to give them credit. They practice the same thing. Now, that ain't neither of them got much, of course. Lord knows I don't either. But that's why I feel about it. And I don't want nothing for it. I don't brag. I don't tell anybody. The only reason I'm sharing this with you is not because y'all think I'm a good person or not. Because I don't care. I am what I am, and I try to get better each day. That's all I can do. But you know who I know knows why I did it? And my true desire? Right up there. Yep. See, I know, he knows what's truly in my heart. Now, I may lie to him. Of course, I learned not to do that quite some time ago. But even if I tried, he'd still know what was in here. So I've often wondered why people even still do that. He knows when I pray to him, I'm sincere. Because he'd know if I wasn't. And see, to all of y'all who have helped with the Kitty Krew, Miss Trixie, I mean, I just opened a box a couple of days ago where there was a little something for the Kitty Krew food. There was special food. You know, all of y'all know Trixie's a gravy lover. Now, a lot of that has to do with her age. She's not much about chewing anything anymore. Just turned 18 this past August. This lady sent things just for Trixie. Sure did. And also, sent me something that I'd been real anxious about. Some disinfectant wipes, as well as a beautifully handwritten card. Yeah. But she ain't the only one. There's been others. One down in Florida that I've named so many times. Also has sent wipes, food and stuff for the Kitty Krew. And another one up north that has not only sent food, but stuff for me as well. And I never even asked. In fact, I did a video several months back about a phobia I have. And that phobia is about accepting gifts, and it's real. I mean, I get extremely anxious. And that, I feel undeserving. And I try to avoid it at all costs. I mean, I'll even avoid holidays if I can. You know, I used to volunteer for work on the holidays, just so I wouldn't have to be around to receive gifts. Yep. Especially so on my birthday. Even though some companies, most of the companies I work for, gave you your birthday off. And I tell them, no, I'll go ahead and come on in. I'm a company man. They didn't need to know I did it just to avoid the day. It's the only phobia I have. And I did that video and said, you know, because so many people wanted to reach out. They wanted to be a part and share. So I said, you know, I was going to work on that. You know, maybe accept some cards and letters. And what I didn't know is there's just going to be this huge outpouring of things. And I'll be honest, and I've shared this with several close friends and family and other YouTube creators. Be careful about what you say on YouTube, because this house started looking like a warehouse. Yep, sure did. There was so much of it that the living room stacked up nearly shoulder high. Dining room nearly the same way. The overflow went into what used to be my son's bedroom and that. But then, you know, I started showing blessing videos. Some will call them Mail Call Fridays or Mail Call Monday. I call them Blessing and Gifts. And I was doing them as a way of saying thank you. And of course, doing that, I offended some people who hadn't said, but, you know, they didn't want to be known. Of course, I never gave them their full name. It'd be like first name and state. And that, others that watched the video for the first time didn't understand the old man and what it was all about, accused me of manipulating people, conning and scamming people, all of which hurt my feelings quite a lot. But then I had a technological disaster. You see, I put things in quarantine and that. 5 to 7 days, if I remembered, I'd get them back out. I'd set up the cameras, I'd open them up, see what was in, and I'd video all of that. And my thought was, as I did them, because I mean things coming in over time, and every couple of 2-3 weeks I'd put a blessing video together, like I had been doing. And I bought a new hard drive, because doing videos takes up a lot of hard drive space. Yes sir, don't take no time to use up 1 terabyte or 2 or 4. Trust me. Not if you're doing any length of videos or very often. And that's what, you know, I've discussed with many new creators. There are expenses that come with having a YouTube channel. Trust me, there are. So I bought a new one. And as I would open this and I'd do the video, I'd save the video clip to that hard drive. and it would accept it. I'd look, it was there. What I didn't know was I'd never be able to get it out, never be able to retrieve it. For some reason, the drive that I bought was sent to me would accept the files, but nothing in this world would ever bring them back out. So I lost most of them. You know what? I even gave that hard drive to a friend that's an expert at it, and I'm no dummy on computers. And after I tried about a week, I gave it to him. He tried and couldn't do it. So you know what? I paid to try to have those files recovered. And they were recovered. But they were no longer individual files. They were one many hour long, continuous commingo mess of a file. Pretty much unusable. Then I thought, well, I could start over again. I could explain. Well, I did explain a little bit on a video. And people were not happy. Well, I ain't seen the stuff I seen. Why ain't you this? Why ain't you doing this? And see, that went against the whole premise of me accepting blessing and gifts in the first place. You know, if you don't send them for the right reason, please don't send anything, because I'm not asking. Some have said they want to. And if that's your desire to help, and that's all, fine. I'll work on accepting it. If you want anything out of the deal, no. Of course, I knew better than that, you know. And that's exactly what happened. Many, they want something out of it. They want, I guess, their 5 minutes of fame, or some want personal attention. They felt I should be in constant email contact with them, or even phone contact. Yep, they do. No matter what time of day, night, or wee hours of the morning, they saw fit to call. So, after a lot of thought and prayer, I decided I'd never do another blessing video again in my entire lifetime. And for those of you who truly deserve to be thanked on video, I apologize, but that's the way it's got to be. It's something I want y'all to know. I do appreciate every bit of help, regardless. But you have to know this. I treat my animals just like I've treated my children, friends, my family. I put them before I put myself. Will they have adequate food, medications, and what they need? Yep, they will. They'll have it before I eat. I feed them my food that I've stolen. Canned chicken, canned tuna, canned burger. Oh yeah. Yep. Just like today. That 12-ounce canned chicken and sea tuna wasn't bought for the Kitty Krew. That was bought, you know, to keep in my short-term, long-term pantries for when, you know, crap hits the fan. Had to let another truck pass by. And when I cook, like when I did that hamburger gravy, I did 1.5 pounds. And I'll guarantee you I took out a good 1/3 of a pound or more before I put any seasoning in it, spices, onions, green bell, anything. I scooped it out, put it in a bowl, let it cool. Why? It was for Trixie and the Kitty Krew. I do the same thing when I do ham. I do the same thing when I do a roast, pork chops, chicken. And I even do it in the mornings on occasion with eggs. Yep, sure do. I scramble them up for me. They get theirs. I fry some up for me. Normally one, maybe two. I fry a couple up from them. They're not going to go without. Trust me not. I think all of y'all see by how the coats look, the luster and shininess, how they are. They're well fed, well cared for. I know a lot of y'all worry that they're going to have a place in the wintertime. They have a house. Sure do. I bought them. Kitty born. Right now, don't much care for it. It was out in the carport. It's rather large. Yep. So rather than it be out there get all dirty and nasty, I brought it back in the house. You'll be seeing it once the weather gets a little cooler and that. And I had some good recommendations on that. I was going to put some blankets in that, and several of y'all said that wasn't a good idea. So I'm going to go get, yes sir, a few bales of straw. And I'm going to put that down for them. Yep. Well, I'm going to lay some plastic in there first. Then I'm going to put that and everything. So they'll have a nice, comfy place for this winter. It'll be under the carport. So it already have one roof on it. Then they'll be in there, kitty born. And right outside the door will be their food and water. Yep. No need to worry. And if it was to get super, super cold, which we never do, I've only seen one night that it ever got down to 10. I can probably count on this hand, so our fingers left over, how many nights it's been below 20 in the 25 years I've been here. Most of the time we might dip down for an hour right before sunrise, maybe 28, 29, 30. And then we're back on up we go. That's what makes it enjoyable here. Late fall and winter here and very early spring are really wonderful. I really enjoy them. Late spring, summer, early fall, not so much. It's downright miserable. Always humidity in the 90s. Always extreme heat. Always extreme UV index. Not to mention all the storms that come with it. But part of the reason I want to do this here Front Porch Sunday Talk with y'all was to clear up some things. So, why I wanted to come on here today and do my Sunday talk about here on the front porch was to clear up some things. Set your mind at ease. That Cleo, Magoo, Spooky, the new Kitten Krew. Not sure what their names are yet. Haven't been able to sit down and chat with them yet. You know how I am about that. I don't give names. They tell me what their name is. Now, I know some of you are probably chuckling right now and don't believe that. Well, I'm not sure whether it's them or God or just that little voice in my head, but a name always comes to me once I get to know them. Believe it or not, I would like to. And that's just me. So y'all, I hope you have listened to the whole video before you madly typing comments. But if you don't, I'll still read them. If you get a heart on one of your comments, then you know I've read it. I read the whole thing. I'll also give you a thumbs up. This is the way I feel about comments. If you took the time to write it, it deserves a thumbs up. And sometimes I'm not all too happy with some of them, but that gets back to, as long as it's not hateful, personal, that's your opinion. And you get a heart, because I've always told people since I started this channel, you get a heart, I read it. And for those of you who feel the lengthy comments and apologize, don't. I read those too. And I enjoy them, because many times you're sharing with me what you're doing out there, canning, gardening. You're sharing with not only me, but our community, which I think is very special, by the way. And that, one of the best on YouTube. I don't care what anybody thinks. It's not just because it's my channel. And that. Because I'm going to tell the truth whether you like it or not. But when you share the events in your life, as many of y'all know who are very active in the comments, others are concerned. Others reach out to you. I don't know how many have started up email and actually even become phone friends of what I've heard. And that's fantastic. It's great that even here, over vast distances, not only America, but this entire world, we can have our virtual neighborhood, our community. We can share our lives, be of like mind. And we don't always have to agree on everything. So, I hope you have watched the whole video before those fingers dance across that keyboard. And that. And as always, me, Miss Tricks, which I'm going to catch it, as you know, when I go in. Cleo, which is still at my feet. Spooky. He's still sunning in the grass. And Magoo is now decided to lay against the door. I think he does that so he knows when I have to wake him up, he'll know I'm going in. Which means he may come in too, and Trixie's tolerating that for now. Mostly. So, I hope you are safe and well with your families, your friends, and your loved ones. I do want you to know that I really appreciate every one of you. Whether you just watch the videos, if you comment, or even those of you who make the personal choice to send something to the Kitty Krew, Trixie, and Mr.Tom. We're very thankful. We're blessed. I want y'all to take care, like I say, stay safe, and know this. So you'll never hear me say, I bless you. Because I can't bless a person. That's all up to the man above. But I do know this. You will be blessed by how you bless others in your life. I've learned this through life. It's what I teach and what I practice. Think even in karma. What you put out comes back to you. It's even the same in other religions, because I've studied many. And that. But that's about all we got to do today. I do got to run on in, start some cooking. You know it's Sunday. I got to throw something together for lunches next week. And maybe something I can eat on. Few dinners too, you know, suppers. So I got to get some eggs steaming. I got another 12-ounce can of tuna. I'm thinking about making some of Mama's. Oh yeah. Tuna fish, salad, sandwich spread. Oh yeah. Another 4-generation old family restaurant. It ain't fancy, but it's darn good. Scoop, you still sleeping? Yep, you stretching. Enjoy the sun, but you deserve the rest. I'm gonna tell you what. There ain't been a finer uncle than you that I've ever known. You the bomb, dude. He deserves the rest. Cleo's resting too, while the Kitty Krew's catching their afternoon nap. Well, little lady, I gotta go in and start some egg steaming. Okay? I may have another 12-ounce can of tuna in your future tonight. I'll have to take a look in the pantry. You know Papa loves you. I'll be out to check on you. Okay? Oh, my good. Magoo. Now he's just dead out. Well, I can fool him. I can go in the back door. That's just what I'll do. Later, all.